Bueno, sa mga sandaling ito mga kaibigan ay meron ho tayong mahalagang pag-uusapan dito sa ating programa at may bisita po tayo galing sa UK Embassy. Ang pag-uusapan ho natin ngayon ay tungkol sa kampanya ng iba't ibang sektor dito sa atin. Pero yung isa po sa mga nangunguna ay bisita po natin ngayon. Child protection. Child protection, lalo na po dun sa online. Alam niyo naman, may mga bata ho ngayon na pinababayaan na lang ng magulang na gumagamit ng internet. Kuminsan, hindi natin alam kung ano yung nakikita sa internet. Ano ho? Ang ating pong bisita ay mula sa Child Protection Unit ng UP Manila at isa pong Clinical Associate Professor ng Pediatrics sa UP College of Medicine. Siya rin po ang Executive Director ng Child Protection Unit Network na pag-uusapan po natin kung anong ginagawa po nito para sa tinatawag na child protection. Una kong ipakikilala ay si Dr. Bernadette Bernie Madrid mula sa UP PGH. Magandang hapon po, Doktora.
Magandang hapon, Andy.
At ang isa pang bisita po natin na aktibo ho sa kampanyang ito ay embahador po at ikinagagalo ko pong ipakilala sa inyo dahil nandito po ang mismong ambassador ng Embassy of the United Kingdom dito po sa Manila. May I introduce the Honorable Ambassador Stephen Lillie. Ambassador, good afternoon and welcome to the program.
Magandang hapon.
Marami tayong English na pag-uusapan dito, Doktora. So marami doon sa mga nakikinig na intindihin niyo po yung English namin at pagpasensyahan po ninyo yung English ko, no? Doktora Madrid, dito sa atin, kumusta ba ang problema nitong mga bata na kung ano-anong mga lumilitaw na problema dahil sa internet?
Actually, lumalaki yung problema na yan, Andy. In a research done by a pediatric resident at PGH together with a consultant at the Child Protection Unit ng PGH, among third year and fourth year high school students in Metro Manila, they found that a good number, majority of these students use the internet, and among those who use the internet, 50% are sexually solicited, and 20% were harassed, and 28% was both sexually solicited and harassed. So if you give that into simple statistics, one might say that 7 out of 10 of these high school students who use the internet either experience harassment or sexual solicitation. And then they find that these students who were harassed, most of them were exhibiting high-risk behavior, like they would give their personal details in the internet.
Innocently?
Innocently, yes. They would friend somebody who is a stranger. They would put under friend. They would chat with people who are unknown, and 1/4 of them would go to X-rated websites. Oh. Now, if they went to X-rated websites, then the risk increases 4 times in terms of sexual solicitation and harassment.
Do we have, I know you're heading a campaign, the Child Protection Network, the NGO. When did we start being conscious about these problems created by the internet among children? Because the internet has been with us for quite some time, and we have had already stories about children being harassed in the Philippines on the internet.
Yes.
But how big is the problem now?
Yeah. Well, because we started as a child protection unit at the Philippine General Hospital in 1997. At that time, most of the patients that we saw, the abuse patients that we saw, were incest victims. Okay, so the problem was abuse within the home. I think that still has remained a problem, but through the years, as the internet became more and more, in the beginning we didn't really have, a lot of people were using the internet.
Cafes. We didn't have internet in the malls. Between
2000 and 2010, the increase in internet usage by children has increased more than 1,000%.
Is that in the Philippines?
Yeah, in the Philippines. 1,000% increase. So as the usage of the internet increased, as well as cell phones, I'm sure you remember the time when there was even no cell phone.
Pagers.
Yeah, we were
pagers.
using pagers.
Right.
Now, cell phones, everyone uses cell phones, even poor people
Even elementary school.
Even, yes.
Yeah.
And so, more and more, starting maybe around early 2000, maybe, but starting maybe around 2000, mid-2005, we started seeing patients because they were sexually abused, because they went out and met with somebody, a stranger whom they initially thought were their friend. They called them friend, but they were not really friends like face-to-face friends.
Right.
They were internet friend or cell
Facebook
phone
friends, right.
or cell phone you won't call it phone pal.
Textmates.
Textmates.
That's what they call it.
Yes, textmates, and then they would go meet these people, and then they get raped in a motel or some place. And so that's why the study was done in 2009, because we had more and more, it was not anymore unusual to have these cases.
Well, what is the ambassador's participation in our local campaign? Of course, he has an international network of diplomats, and the UK Foreign Ministry has a project like this for child protection. In the Philippines, could you give us an idea what did he do? What does he do in helping your campaign?
Oh well, actually, the relationship of the Child Protection Unit with the UK Embassy started way back in 1997. Before we even opened, the UK Embassy was here, had a training given by Scotland Yard detectives for the police and NBI, Bureau of Immigration, Department of Social Welfare and Development. And because we were planning to open the Child Protection Unit at TGH, we were invited to be in that training. Okay, and the training included investigation as well as, forensic interviewing of children. And as the years went by, our relationship with the UK Embassy became stronger and stronger, in terms of training as well as donation of equipment. And then finally, early 2000, I and Attorney Katrina Legarda, who is our legal consultant,
for the network?
Yes, we had a study tour in the United Kingdom.
Okay.
And we met Tim Jerish, who is at the time, head also of their, it was a child protection and sexual exploitation. They were just beginning, I think, the unit in the UK. And we were talking about a database, that the United Kingdom has a database for sexual offenders. We really
database of
all
UK cases or
of UK cases. So we were talking about the fact that they maintained a database on any UK person who has committed a sexual act and hence was has a record, was put in prison. So these are already tried.
So the embassy is helping both in the education part.
Yes.
You're also doing financial
and training.
support.
Yes. Actually, the embassy also supported a child protection database at the Department of Justice. But of course, that is not for public use. It is only for investigators. Yes.
Let me go to the ambassador, Mr. Ambassador. I read about your project, the embassy project for safeguarding children, especially online, and also read about your Child Exploitation and Online Protection Center in the UK. Here in the Philippines, what projects are you doing for child protection online?
Well, as Dr. Madrid said, we've been working with the Child Protection Network since 1997, and in the early stages that was very much about working with them as they established the unit at the Philippine General Hospital to deal with cases of child abuse. But as you say, the nature of child abuse and exploitation is changing, and it's moving from the real world into cyberspace. Right. So our recent activity has been focused on the online challenge. So just this year we've been undertaking a number of activities to promote awareness of the dangers to children online. It's doing some educational activities, and we've got a range of online resources for that. We've also been undertaking teacher training. So just last month we ran a training course at the British School in Manila, where we brought in teachers, social workers, some law enforcement officials from different places in the Philippines, about 120 of them. And we did a 3-day training course in helping them understand the problem themselves, and then giving them advice on how to raise awareness amongst children.
Do you have an idea how many have been trained, for example, teachers and law enforcers?
Yeah, I mean, on that particular training, it was over 120 teachers and social workers.
And they come from a generic area in the Philippines?
Yeah, I mean, many of them are from the Metro Manila area, but they're from other parts of the country. And we've done similar training in previous years, so gradually we're spreading out the net.
If we look at the Philippine problem, Dr. Madrid, compared to other Southeast Asian countries, for example, our neighbors, how big is our problem? And the solutions available, how available are they?
Well, in terms of, let's say first, an internet usage, because, you know, the Philippines is number 3 in our region. After Indonesia and India, the Philippines is 3rd. And then when you look at the population of using the internet, it's predominantly older teenagers and young adults, you know, that age group. Well, the thing is that the other Asian countries don't present their statistics. Okay, so in terms of like how many cyber abuse cases they've encountered, and but when we look at, say, a study in Malaysia, you know, about cyberbullying, I think that our problem, we probably have similar, rather than say one is more than the other, we probably have similar statistics. But we are more, although the Philippines is not great in statistics, we're better than the rest of the Asian countries, because we have one more problem that's very big: pornography. If you look at the UNICEF statistics, you know,
pornography online.
Yes, okay. We are like number 4 in the world.
You're talking about pornography.
Pornography in general.
Kids opening their computers,
child pornography. Yes. It's a and there's you know, some studies show that they say that child pornography is 4th GNP source for the Philippines, and that's really bad. Yes.
But we have laws against that. I mean,
we
have laws?
We have laws against child pornography. Although it just came out 2 years ago, you know. But we have our child abuse law, which early on came out in 1992, and also we have our Anti-Video and Voyeurism Act about texting pictures of sexual acts, you know, or body parts. That was 2009.
Compared to more advanced countries, Mr. Ambassador, of course, aside from the modern law enforcement that you have there, the Philippines lacks. Is there any suggestion that you could propose, like, for example, what steps does our government have to take so that we strengthen the campaign against child harassment on the internet?
I think many of the challenges are exactly the same here as in Europe or the US. I mean, as Bernie said, the availability of the internet, it doesn't actually matter which country you're in, whether it's Britain or the Philippines. People have access to a wide variety of threats on the internet. So I think the first thing is really working very intensively to raise awareness, understanding amongst children of what the dangers are, but then also with their parents and school teachers.
Right.
And then, of course, there is the whole area of law enforcement. Bernie talked a lot about the laws, but then, of course, the big challenge is to make sure that those laws are implemented effectively.
But maybe we should implement some kind of control among the parents. I mean, the parents should discipline, or just some kind of discipline or control the way their child accesses the internet.
Yes, correct. Yeah, you're correct. Yeah, in fact, one of the prevention aspects, you know, from this happening is that parents should also know how to maneuver the internet, and just like they would ask where their children would go if they go out of the house, You know, the cyber world is a real place now. They should also ask where they're going in the cyber world.
I see the problem. Some parents actually do not use the internet.
Yes.
Their children do.
Yes.
Their children know where the internet cafe is. The parents don't know. Magbabalik ko tayo mga kaibigan sa ating magandang talakayan ngayong hapong ito sa DZRH Operation Tulong. Samantala, ilan mo ng paalala.